You feel it, don't you? That strange, heavy stillness that has settled over your life like a thick fog. You look out at the world, and for the first time in your existence, you feel like a ghost in a machine. You are watching the people around you, your friends, your family, your co-workers scrambling, chasing, laughing, and weeping over things that no longer make sense to you. You are present in the room, but your spirit is miles away, hovering above the timeline, observing the play from the rafters. You aren't participating anymore. You are watching life happen more than you are living it. And the world is trying to tell you that something is wrong with you. They call it depression. They call it isolation. They call it losing your spark. But I am here to tell you that this is not a loss of life. This is the precision of the divine. Lately, your days have felt like a repetitive loop of observation. You wake up and you see the patterns before they even manifest. You go to the grocery store and you see the frantic energy in people's eyes, the way they cling to their phones, the way they argue over trifles, the way they move with a desperate, frantic pace. You see it, but you don't feel the need to join in. You find yourself sitting in silence for hours, not because you are sad, but because the noise of the world has become physically repulsive to your ears. You might even feel a literal pressure in your temples, a ringing in your ears, or a strange sensation of floating when you walk through a crowd. Your body is moving through the physical 3D world, but your consciousness has checked out of the theater. You are standing in the lobby, watching the movie through the glass doors, and you realize you no longer care how the plot ends for the characters on the screen. This shift has brought a physical exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. You could sleep for 12 hours and still wake up feeling like your soul is heavy. This is because you are no longer fueling yourself with the adrenaline of the Matrix. You used to thrive on the chase. You used to care about the milestones. You used to want to be seen, to be heard, to be part of the collective dance. But now, even the thought of an intense social gathering makes your skin crawl. You find yourself canceling plans, not out of malice, but out of a deep, soul-level necessity for sanctuary. You are watching the clock, watching the seasons change, watching the drama of others from a distance. And there is a profound, echoing silence in your heart where the hustle used to be. You've noticed the headaches, haven't you? That tension right between your brows. It's because your peripheral vision is expanding. You aren't just seeing what's in front of you, you are seeing the energetic strings attached to everyone you encounter. You watch a friend tell a lie, and you see the gray shadow pass over their face before the words even leave their mouth. You watch the news and you see the script, the manipulation, the orchestrated fear, and it feels so transparent that you almost want to laugh. You are becoming a spectator of the simulation. You are sitting on the sidelines of a game you no longer have the desire to play. And while the world screams at you to get back in the game, your spirit is whispering, "Stay still. Just watch." This isolation isn't a punishment. It is a protective cocoon. You are being benched by the Creator because your energy is being recalibrated for something that requires total stillness. You are in the observation deck of your own life. And the reason it feels so lonely is because you are the only one in your circle who has been granted the vision to see that the game is rigged. You aren't missing out on life. You are being saved from the wreckage of a collapsing timeline. You are watching because you are learning the anatomy of the illusion before you are finally called to walk away from it forever. Why is this happening? Why has the Creator pulled you back from the front lines of your own life? You must understand that your sudden detachment is not a psychological glitch. It is a spiritual mandate. You are being vibrationally quarantined. You have reached a frequency where you can no longer resonate with the lower density games of this world. Think of a radio dial. You have been tuned so far to the right that the stations everyone else is listening to the gossip. The vanity, the frantic pursuit of status have become nothing but static to your ears. If you were to force yourself back into the participation mode of the Matrix, you would literally feel your physical body begin to break down. This is why you feel that instant crushing fatigue the moment you try to act normal or fit in at a party or a meeting. Your soul is rejecting the transplant of worldly energy. The spiritual cause of this observation phase is the severing of the cord. For decades, you were tethered to the collective consciousness. You felt what they felt. You feared what they feared. You chased what they chased, because you were plugged into the same power grid. But the divine has unplugged you. You are now running on an internal battery, a celestial power source that does not require the validation of the crowd. When you sit and watch life without participating, you are actually undergoing a deep tissue spiritual detox. All the shoulds and musts that were programmed into you since birth are being purged from your system. The universe has placed you in the spectator's seat, because you can no longer be a player in a game that is based on deception. You have become too real for the simulation. And if you were to participate now, you would break the script of those around you. You are witnessing the unraveling. From your vantage point in the silence, you are seeing the cracks in the foundation of the world. You see the desperation in the way people cling to their masks. You see the spiritual poverty hidden behind the expensive cars and the filtered photos. You are being shown the truth of the harvest. The reason you are watching more than participating is that the divine is training your discernment. You are learning to distinguish between what is eternal and what is temporary. Most of what people call living is actually just a sophisticated form of distraction, a way to avoid the deafening silence of their own souls. But you have embraced that silence. You have made a home in it. This is a transition of authority. You are moving from being a subject of the world to being a steward of the light. A steward does not run around in the fields with the workers. A steward stands on the hill and watches the patterns of the wind and the health of the soil. You are being elevated to the position of the watchman. This is why you feel so disconnected from your peers. They are still in the thick of the drama, blinded by the dust of their own heels. You are above the dust. You see the storm clouds on the horizon that they cannot see. You see the pitfalls in their path that they are too distracted to notice. You aren't lazy or unmotivated. You are strategically positioned. The divine has whispered a command to your spirit: be still and know. That command is a shield. It protects you from the chaotic debris of a world that is currently cannibalizing itself. Every time you choose to stay home, every time you choose to remain silent in a room full of noise, every time you choose to observe a conflict rather than engaging in it, you are preserving your light quotient. You are no longer leaking energy to the vampires of the Matrix. You are a reservoir now. You are filling up with a different kind of power, one that doesn't come from doing, but from being. You are watching because the scene you are currently witnessing is the final act of an old story. And the Creator wants you to see exactly how it ends, so that you never, ever feel the temptation to go back to it again. You are being prepared for the new earth. And in that world, participation looks nothing like the frantic, hollow busyness you see today. You are learning the art of the divine witness. Have you noticed how they look at you lately? The people who still inhabit the center of the stage, the narcissists, the energy vampires, the puppets of the Matrix are starting to look at you with a mixture of confusion and genuine fear. Why? Because you are no longer predictable. You are no longer reacting to their provocations. When you were a participant in their drama, they had a hook in you. They knew exactly which button to press to get a rise out of you, which insult would make you defend yourself, and which silence would make you beg for their attention. But now that you have moved into the seat of the observer, those hooks are falling out of your skin. You are watching them perform their toxic routines. And instead of anger, you are meeting them with a cold, crystalline detachment. To the narcissist, your observation is a death sentence. They thrive on supply, which is nothing more than your emotional participation. When you sit there and watch their outbursts, their gaslighting, and their desperate bids for control as if you are watching a poorly acted play, you are starving them. They sense that you are no longer in the game with them. They see the way you look right through them, noting their patterns, documenting their shadows in the silence of your mind. They feel the weight of your gaze, and it feels like a judgment, because your frequency has become a mirror. By not participating, you are forcing them to see themselves. And there is nothing a servant of the Matrix hates more than the reflection of their own emptiness. The world, the system, is reacting to your stillness by trying to turn up the volume. Have you noticed how life seems to be getting louder and more chaotic, right as you are getting quieter? This is not a coincidence. The Matrix is a feedback loop that requires your engagement to sustain itself. It needs your outrage. It needs your likes. It needs your fear. When a chosen one stops participating and starts watching, it creates a glitch in the energetic harvest. You are like a cog that has decided to stop spinning while the rest of the machine is still grinding away. The machine is shaking because of you. This is why you might feel a strange static in the air when you enter a room, or why people seem to stumble over their words or become unusually aggressive around you. Your stillness is a threat to their momentum. They are scared of your power because they don't understand where it's coming from. They see you sitting alone, not achieving by the world's standards, not climbing, not competing, and yet you carry an aura of authority that they cannot replicate. You have the power of the untouchable, because you don't want what they have. They have no leverage over you. You are watching them scramble for crumbs while you are being fed by manna from a hidden source. They see that you are no longer afraid of their rejection. In fact, you seem to prefer it. You have turned their greatest weapon, isolation, into your greatest sanctuary. You have taken the black sheep label and turned it into a royal robe. The enemy is frantic because they know that once a chosen one moves into the phase of the observer, the reaping is near. You are no longer a victim of the script. You have become the critic. You are seeing the strings, the trap doors, and the false fronts of the entire societal structure. You are watching the narcissists in your life play out their final, desperate cycles, and you are realizing that they are not monsters to be feared, but tragic, hollow programs running on an outdated loop. Your power over them is absolute because your energy is no longer available for purchase. You have withdrawn your investment from the bank of the Matrix, and the market of your old life is crashing. Let it crash. You are safe in the spectator's box, protected by a divine barrier that no lower entity can cross. You are watching their downfall, not out of spite, but because the truth must be witnessed to be fully transcended. What you are experiencing is the fulfillment of an ancient cosmic design. There is a specific, immutable law in the kingdom of the divine. Before you can rule, you must first perceive. You are being initiated into the priesthood of the Watchers. Throughout history, those chosen by the Creator were always pulled out of the city gates, out of the marketplaces, and into the high mountain peaks of observation. Moses had the desert. Elijah had the cave. You have this current season of watching. It is the theological necessity of the great separation. The world is a frequency. And as that frequency splits into two distinct paths, those who are destined for the higher timeline must be physically and emotionally decoupled from the lower one. You are watching more than participating, because you are being prepared to inherit a different kind of reality, one that functions on the laws of spirit rather than the laws of survival. The truth is that the life everyone else is participating in is a decaying organism. The Creator is allowing you to see the rot, not to depress you, but to disillusion you. To disillusion literally means to be freed from the illusion. When you watch the vanity of the world with a sense of boredom or detachment, you are successfully breaking the soul ties to the matrix. Every time you refuse to argue with a fool, every time you choose peace over being right, and every time you find contentment in your own presence, you are aligning with the prophecy of the remnant. You are the few who were spoken of, the ones who would see the signs in the sun, moon, and stars, while the rest of the world was eating, drinking, and marrying. Your stillness is your signature of readiness. You are waiting for the divine signal. And you cannot hear a signal if you are making too much noise yourself. The universe operates on a law of vacuums. By withdrawing your participation, you are creating a massive energetic space within your life. The matrix hates a vacuum and will try to fill it with emergencies, creeds, or obligations to pull you back in. But if you hold your position as the observer, that vacuum will eventually be filled by the holy fire of purpose. You are being hollowed out so that you can be filled with the blueprints of the new earth. You are watching the old structures fall in your family, in your career, in the global systems, because you are the one who will be tasked with building what comes next. You cannot build a new house if you are still obsessed with decorating the ruins of the old one. This is why your interest in normal life has evaporated. The Creator has killed your appetite for husks so that you will be hungry for the bread of life. You are witnessing the closing of the books. For many of you, this phase of observation is the final review of your past lives and your ancestral karma. You are seeing the patterns of your mother, your father, and your ancestors playing out in the people around you. And by watching them without joining in, you are breaking the generational cycle. You are saying, I see the trap, and I choose not to step into it. This is the highest form of spiritual warfare. It isn't a battle of swords, it is a battle of focus. Where you place your attention is where you place your power. By placing your attention on the divine silence rather than the worldly chaos, you are starving the beast of your bloodline. You are the light of the world, not because you are performing, but because you are the only one in the room who is actually awake. Your observation is an act of sanctification. You are being set apart, marked by the divine as a non-combatant in a war of shadows. You are safe, you are chosen, and your boredom is actually the peace that passes all understanding. So, what is your move now? Now that you know your detachment is a divine shield, how do you live? You stop apologizing for your silence. You stop explaining your absence. You accept that your role in this season is to be the witness, not the worker. When the world tries to bait you into the theater of drama, you simply sit back and observe the performance. You realize that you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to fix people who are committed to their own destruction. You are allowed to be boring to the world so that you can be brilliant for the divine. Ground yourself in the earth. Feel the grass under your feet and the sun on your skin. And realize that these simple, quiet things are more real than any chaotic headline or digital distraction. You are reclaiming your sovereignty by refusing to give your energy away for free. I want you to breathe this in deeply right now. Feel the frequency of your heart slowing down to match the rhythm of the universe. You are not falling behind in life. You are actually getting ahead of the curve. While everyone else is sprinting toward a cliff, you have stopped to tie your shoes and look at the map. You are safe. You are protected. The angels of observation are surrounding your home, creating a perimeter of peace that the noise of the matrix cannot penetrate. You are being hidden in plain sight. Let the world scramble. Let the narcissists scream into the void. Let the systems shake. You are anchored in the eternal. And because you have chosen to watch and wait, you will be the first to see the new dawn when it finally breaks. Repeat these words in the sanctuary of your soul. I am a divine observer. I am no longer a slave to the scripts of this world. I withdraw my energy from the chaos and invest it in my peace. I am not lonely. I am set apart. I am not stagnant. I am being recalibrated. I see the truth. I feel the light. And I am ready for the new assignment. I seal this energy now. I claim my position as the watchman of my own life. No lower frequency can touch me, and no weapon formed against my peace shall prosper. It is done. It is written. It is so. If this message resonated with your spirit, if you felt the weight lift off your chest as you realized you are not broken but benched for a higher purpose, then claim your seat in the comments. Type, I am the observer, to signal to the universe that you have accepted your elevation. Subscribe to this frequency and join the remnant of the chosen who are waking up to the truth of the great separation. Share this with another soul who is wandering in the fog, wondering why they no longer fit in. You are the light. Chosen one. Keep watching. The reveal is closer than you think.